Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I am so excited for Halloween at just after 8:35 a.m. this morning. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, joining you for the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs on our YouTube channel. The reason why I call it our YouTube channel is because we created this YouTube channel together, and we help spread a message of kindness for fans of Descendants and Zombies all across the globe. This is incredible, the reach these videos have had, touching the hearts of so many wonderful people, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. Every time I upload a video on this YouTube channel, I want to touch your heart, and Descendants and Zombies has gave me the opportunity to do that and showcase the passion that exists inside of all of our hearts for Descendants and Zombies, because undeniably we fell in love with two franchises that captivated the world and took the world by storm. It was something that started as a whisper and we turned it into a global phenomenon because we fell in love with the characters, we fell in love with the story, and I have never been more excited about Zombies 5, because Zombies 5 of course will take us on an incredible journey introducing us to the characters Victor and Nova. And the cool thing about it is we don't know a whole lot about Victor and Nova, we don't know a whole lot about Freya Sky and Malachi Barton. All we know is they look adorable together, and we got that from the Worlds Collide tour this past summer when you guys came out by the thousands supporting your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars. And I give you a profound amount of credit. I have to give you guys a shout out for really putting over Freya Sky at the Worlds Collide tour this summer, because you guys fell in love with her. You undeniably knew she was going to be the next Disney pop star, and you guys really are smarter than you're ever given credit for, because you know who you love and you know what you love, and because you know who you love and what you love, I think you deserve all the credit in the world, and more respect needs to be shown to your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, and that is the biggest reason why I am here. I'm here to showcase your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars for the true stars they are and their fullest potential, because I really believe that their stars have never shined brighter, and the music that Descendants and Zombies is putting out now presents a new vibe to this whole new generation of Disney fans. I have to tell you guys, I grew up with Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place, but I have never seen music that sounds so cool or heard anything quite like we're hearing from Descendants and Zombies. Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires was a whole new soundtrack and a whole new retrospective, if you would, on what the zombie soundtracks have meant to our lives growing up with it for the last 7 years. And Zombies has really come a long way in 7 years. The music has gotten better, the story is way more detailed and more in-depth, which is something I really appreciate about a musical, when you have a more in-depth story that's just as in-depth as the music is, because sometimes you really need a good story to go with the great music that really brings a musical to life. And I've been a part of every musical you can think of, from Beauty and the Beast to Phantom of the Opera to The Little Mermaid. I've been a part of them all. But I have never seen a musical captivate millions of people the way that Descendants and Zombies has. It's really allowed us to really put our lives into perspective and become the best of friends with so many wonderful people. Descendants and Zombies never fails to touch somebody's heart. Because I have to be honest with each and every one of you, when I was going through some of the most difficult times of my life, Descendants and Zombies really helped me make sense of my own life and put the broken pieces of my heart back together. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who felt that way. Because the thing is, you guys give Descendants and Zombies life. You bring it to life in a way that nobody else who has ever reviewed a Disney musical has ever been able to bring it to life. You guys feel so passionate about Descendants and Zombies, and that's what's so cool and very authentic about each and every one of you and the stars who have brought these franchises to life and have had a special place in their heart forever and always, for every moment that Descendants and Zombies has created. Because no matter what moment you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies because of, you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies because these moments have touched your heart, regardless if it was from the very first moment that Zed and Addison laid eyes on each other in the zombie safe zone, or when Red and Chloe became the best of friends. Whatever you remember yourself for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies because of, you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies because of moments in history that we helped create. Because it wasn't just about a board meeting one morning when 500 people sat down at a Disney meeting and they said, okay, we're going to come up with a concept where Disney villain kids are going to reign supreme in Oregon and people are going to fall in love with it by the millions. It happened because of each and every one of you. It never happened because Disney allocated a $5 million budget for a franchise that nobody ever thought was going to amount to anything and turned into an adventure musical because of Kenny Ortega's contributions to Hocus Pocus and High School Musical from many moons ago. It happened because you guys believed in the franchises so much. This is why Descendants and Zombies has exploded. It's like rapid fire ascension, where stars came from out of nowhere because nobody had ever seen or heard tell of Sophia Carson ever before, and Descendants provided her with a breakout role, and she exploded in popularity. More people know who Sophia Carson and Dove Cameron are now because of Descendants and Zombies and what that franchise did for their careers. And it's really amazing how Disney notices star power, and they take star power power, and they take full advantage of it, because everything they could attach the Descendants logo to, from the hoodies to the sweaters to the dolls, which were absolutely incredible, the Halloween costumes, which many of you will be dressing up for this year on Halloween and showing up at my door because you are fans of Descendants and Zombies, and especially the retro characters, who people can't seem to get enough of and never stop talking about. I want to let you guys know that no matter what reason you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies because of, there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. You guys know that, right? You get that. Because if you feel passionate about Descendants and Zombies, nobody has the right to criticize you or hold you down from accomplishing your dreams. Because the one thing I've always wanted to put out every single time that I record a video for this YouTube channel is that a dream is possible for everybody, no matter what that dream is. And I think that Descendants and Zombies has done an excellent job really putting persuasion on that, to persuade you to accomplish your dreams. Because there's no better feeling or greater feeling in the world when you realize that a dream is actually happening for you. And the moment that you realize that this dream is coming into fruition, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened for me. But I think that Disney's been really waiting on a franchise since High School Musical and Hannah Montana had so much severity from about 25 years ago to really captivate people and to encourage people that dreams can happen for everybody regardless of what that dream is, or no matter what kind of adversity we're faced with every single day. Because sometimes adversity has a way of really creeping up from behind us and it catches us off guard. But I think Descendants and Zombies has encouraged people to become stronger, to be the best of friends for really an eternity, because most of the conversations now between the best of friends start off with, are you a fan of Descendants and Zombies? And believe you me, I've seen this with my own two eyes, how much a profound impact Descendants and Zombies has had on somebody's heart. Regardless if you fell in love with the franchise because of the dolls, because of the hoodies, because of the sweaters, because of the music or the script. You know, I don't really have a particular reason why I fell in love with Descendants and Zombies. I just remember watching the franchise and getting hundreds of emails from people telling me to go check out Descendants and Zombies, and the girls were dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters every year on Halloween, persuading me to create a Descendants and Zombies show because they knew I was a YouTuber, and many years later you guys have gotten exactly what you wanted, the official Descendants and Zombies podcast. While it was never designated by Disney to be the official Descendants and Zombies podcast, well, we have created the official Descendants and Zombies podcast, because every day there is a new video uploaded about Descendants and Zombies. We talk about Ruby Rose Turner, we talk about Clarke and Trell, because I think that they're being overshadowed by the same 4 or 5 celebrities, which has really become a revolving door. There's too much of a conversation about Taylor Swift. There's too much of a conversation about Ariana Grande. It's either about Ariana Grande's portrayal of Belinda the Good Witch in Wicked for Good coming up in November, or it's about Taylor Swift's documentary on Disney Plus coming out in December about the Eras Tour, and I'm tired of that. I want to see more of an emphasis put on Clarke and Trell and Ruby Rose Turner for all the dedication they put behind these characters from the Descendants franchise, and really giving them life and really presenting incentive. I think forever we will present the argument on this channel about how Freya Sky is the next Taylor Swift. What do you guys think? I think that there have been way too many doc-series about Taylor Swift. There's been too much of a spotlight and too much of an emphasis on Taylor Swift. Now, I will admit to each and every one of you, when Taylor Swift's career first kicked off and got off the ground in Nashville, when there was a producer in a bar one night listening to Taylor Swift sing on a guitar, I was a big fan of Taylor Swift many years ago when her debut record premiered, and it was re-released so many times by Big Machine Records. But as Taylor Swift's popularity grew in rarity, I kind of shied away from that, because I felt as if people like Clarke and Trell, who wanted just the opportunity to sing and dance in front of a global audience, was really being taken away from her, because Clarke and Trell was a YouTuber like yours truly. I've been on YouTube since 2009, the host of various other shows that you guys haven't seen. Some of my videos are up in my archives. But I really believe that people are being overshadowed that deserve more of the spotlight, like Clarke and Trell and Ruby Rose Turner, for long enough. Especially when people like Meg Donnelly are going home broken-hearted because they were turned down for the role of Supergirl, taken away from them by Millie Alcott, who, by the way, really didn't do that much of a respectful job portraying Supergirl. Because I thought going into Superman this summer, the Supergirl character was going to be respectful, she was going to be strong, she was going to be fearless. And really, when I saw the portrayal of Supergirl being brought forth by Millie Alcott, I said, why is Meg Donnelly so upset about this? Meg Donnelly should be honored to be a character like Addison Wells bringing the Zombies franchise to life. Without a doubt she is, but I think that these stars are just worrying a little bit too much about how people think about them, which I respect, because they want to give you the best performances possible. But I think that when people like Meg Donnelly and Clarke and Trell can't stop crying because of critics like Perez Hilton online all the time saying things about them they don't deserve to have said about them, it really breaks my heart and it really hurts me because what I wanted to do with this show was I wanted to create a show with a positive vibe being brought forth for your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars because people like Ruby Rose Turner were just so genuinely kind. And if anything, Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell inspired me to become a better person. And I like to believe, even though I'm far from perfect, which I've done with an open heart and an open mind, openly admitting to you on this show from time to time, I like to believe that I'm a kinder person because of what Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell inspired me to become. Because Descendants of Zombies' message was just so positive, and it was just so strong. It was really a fearless outbringing of a character, and I think that ever since Princess Red premiered in the Descendants franchise, her Verity will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. I think that because of her dedication, that I think was never there for Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson. With how revered their friendship became, I think one of the reasons why Sophia Carson and Dove Cameron's characters Mal and Evie were so revered was because of their friendship. If not for their friendship, I don't think Descendants would have ever gotten off the ground. Because Disney was able to profile their friendship in such an emphatic way, they were also able to bring these characters to life who had no backstories whatsoever, but because of a few character traits. Because when you really think about a story like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, did the Evil Queen really have a history that we could go back on and really rely on to have a daughter many years later in the Descendants franchise? She really didn't. So with not much of a backstory, Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson had to bring these characters to life. But I've never seen a group of individuals so passionate about a Descendants franchise like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner have been, which is why I don't think they deserve to be criticized and be crying all the time. And I just want to let those girls know that their contributions to the Descendants franchise will never ever be forgotten, because we have thousands of people who have fallen in love with them, if not by the millions. I mean, Ruby Rose Turner has 1 million subscribers on social, and I think that she deserves way more credit than she's ever been given. Most popular is just one way of looking at Ruby Rose Turner having more opportunities, but I think that there are more opportunities for her musically and as an actress. And I think that her time, I just want to say this with the Descendants franchise, is very short-lived. So because her time with the franchise was very short-lived, and because I love Ruby Rose Turner and I've fallen in love with her head over heels in love with Ruby, I think that more of an opportunity needs to be shown to her to showcase her talent, because when she finally gets that opportunity and really comes into her own, I think Ruby Rose Turner is going to offer something special to everybody who was a fan of the franchise. Because 20 years from now, when you're growing up and you realize, how far Descendants has come, you're going to be thinking back on Descendants and say, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And that's why I wish more people would upload more innovative videos that would make you feel inspired and give you something to run away with. But unfortunately, people don't host Descendants and Zombies podcasts for you on YouTube as much or as often as what I wish they would. So I've kind of taken that distinction upon myself and had that responsibility put on my shoulders to create videos for you guys, so that 20 years from now you will think back on being a fan of Descendants and Zombies and say, that was so cool. That was so much fun. Some of my best friends were, because of Descendants and Zombies, some of the greatest moments of being a Disney fan came at the expense of Descendants and Zombies. And that's all I've ever wanted to do, was host a show for you guys about your favorite franchises, and I had the honor to do it. Descendants and Zombies gave me a second chance at having my voice heard and my videos being seen by thousands of people. And the cool thing was, I always wanted to be the host of a show that I would fall into a specific niche that would allow me to be the host of a show for a specific niche and would respect the videos that I would upload. I just never thought that Descendants of Zombies would be received by my voice, and my voice would become attached to a franchise that would forever and always hold a special place in my heart, which is why you guys gave me an opportunity to be something special for a global audience. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity that you did. Thank you so much for allowing me to showcase my passions for Disney and Nickelodeon, because I've been the biggest Disney and Nickelodeon fan for forever. I get really excited around the festive times of year for Halloween and Christmas and the New Year celebration, and I want to be here for all of it, because for the first time ever this year I'm going to be able to spend Christmas with each and every one of you, and I'm really excited about that, to discuss everything Descendants and Zombies. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to touch on the Christmas music video for Red Christmas, which is something I wanted to do last year, but I never had the opportunity to do it, so I'll have a lot of videos coming up around Halloween and Christmas related to Descendants and Zombies. And of course, in 2 days we have the birthday of Ruby Rose Turner. I can't forget about that. I have to set a reminder for Ruby's birthday, because I'll have a lot of Ruby Rose Turner videos all throughout that day, coming out on October 16th, and the following day we have Freya Sky's birthday. So I think that's really cool how both Ruby and Freya's birthdays are back-to-back, and we'll be celebrating them in back-to-back celebrations on this YouTube channel, as well as the countdown to Halloween is happening on this YouTube channel. And to be honest with you guys, I don't really want to have to watch a Halloween marathon at the expense of AMC or The Walking Dead 100 times over, because Fear Fest always has this way of really creeping me out. So I don't want to have to watch a bunch of Friday the 13th or Halloween movies constantly on repeat. So I think that rather than watch AMC's Fear Fest, I'll sit on this show and I'll record Descendants of Zombies videos for you guys for the rest of my life, because we got to find out what's inside of that vortex. I know it feels like forever away, Zombies 5 years from now. They're speculating the release window is suggesting a 2028 release. I think that's a little bit too far away, and I think that Zombies 5 could happen as late as 2027 at least. I think a year could be taken off our wait time for Zombies, because I think we want to find out what's inside of that vortex a lot sooner than what Disney is going to allow us to find out what's inside of that vortex. But I think the cool thing about the wait period in between the release of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires and Zombies 5 is it will give me a chance to upload a lot of great videos about Descendants of Zombies and talk all things Descendants of Zombies, and it will give me the opportunity to meet each and every one of you and be in your presence, because I look forward to covering Descendants of Zombies. I look forward to uploading all these wonderful videos and having the chance to meet each and every one of you and dress in my diamond pattern sweaters like a prince from Descendants, because I'm so passionate about these franchises, because I remember being a fan of every franchise that Disney ever had, animated and live action. I remember at the turn of the millennium when Disney came into live action TV shows and they crossed over from animation in shows like Kim Possible and Goof Troop and Hercules. And I was a big fan of everything Disney had, even The House of Mouse. I remember watching that at 3 o'clock every afternoon when I get home from school, throwing my book bag down to catch the latest episode of The House of Mouse. And I think Disney really turned a corner when they came out of original animation into live action, because shows like Hannah Montana and Sweet Life were really exploding in popularity. I will never forget the portrayal of Natty, that character done by Ashley Tisdale for The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and how phenomenal that was. Herself and Brenda Song had great chemistry. And really, in that era, there were a lot of wonderful friendships, but never before have we seen such wonderful friendships having the chance to be profiled. I think every single opportunity Ruby Rose Turner had, she not only brought the best out of herself, but she brought the best out of everybody she worked with. And I think the same thing can be said about Cameron Boyce, because his legacy will never ever be forgotten. He lit up every single room that he ever stepped inside of. He brought the best out of everybody he had the chance to work with, even from Peyton List on Jesse and Bunked. The relationship between himself and Peyton List and Debbie Ryan was unbelievable, and the friendship that he shared with Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson was really off the charts. God rest his soul. He will never be forgotten. And for those of you who are fans of Cameron Boyce, I just want to let you guys know that I will always honor Cameron Boyce. For everybody who ever said they were a fan of Cameron Boyce, I couldn't be more proud or more honored to do that for you guys, because I think that if you're going to talk about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, that's exactly what you should do. You should talk about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, and you should showcase them for their true potential and their true worth and their true value, because there's a certain value and a certain pride that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies. And because these are two of my all-time favorite franchises, it really has become the greatest honor of my life to be able to sit in front of this microphone every single day and every single opportunity that arises to talk about your favorite stars. There is a way to criticize something, but I've never believed in constructive criticism or criticism in general. I think that if you're going to host a show, never prepare anything and host it with an open heart and an open mind. And I think more people will appreciate your opinion on stars like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson if you do it with an open heart and an open mind, because nobody knows quite what to expect. Nobody knows what you're going to say or how you're going to feel, how your heart is going to feel when you record a video. And I think that's the best way of doing it. I always tried to host a show as if I was hosting it talking to my best friend, so that you guys would know who the host of the show is by telling you stories about my own life that related to Descendants of Zombies, and you guys would fall in love with my show, because it was really a hit or miss, me talking about Descendants of Zombies. But thankfully, each and every one of you, these videos have had, thanks to each and every one of you always hitting my like button and subscribe button, these videos have had such an incredible reach. And I honestly don't know, quite honestly, where I would be without your love and support. Guys, keep on hitting the like button, keep on hitting the subscribe button to this YouTube channel, because I have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes. This seems to be a never-ending conversation, and this is really the greatest honor of my life, to be able to sit in front of this microphone talking about your favorite stars from the past and the present: Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, whose friendship I can't seem to get enough of. Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, and Ruby Rose Turner, these three are a trio that I think will go down in history of being some of the greatest Disney stars of all time. And the argument will forever be presented by me about how Freya Sky is the next Taylor Swift. I just saw a Taylor Swift doc series going to be debuting, I believe, on December 13th, December 12th through the 13th on the Eras Tour. And again, you know, it brings me back to how overrated I believe Taylor Swift is. And now she's saying she's tired because she's worn out from all the tour dates and being overworked. That's what you expect getting into the industry, but I think that because Taylor Swift is feeling overworked and overrated, and because I believe she's overrated, I think she's overshadowing somebody like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, who I can never seem to give enough credit or show enough respect to. And it's all because of each and every one of you having fallen in love with Descendants of Zombies. Guys, seriously, thank you so much from my heart to yours, because there's no place in the world I would rather be this morning than right here hosting this show for every single person who ever fell in love with these two franchises, because I'm just like each and every one of you, and I know what it's like to be you, being a huge fan of Descendants of Zombies. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this first video to my YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys are going to give me 50,000 likes, 50,000 subscribers. That's a dream of mine, and we're going to do a whole lot of conversation about Descendants of Zombies. We're going to raise the ire of Descendants of Zombies, and it really is my honor to be in your guys' presence to discuss all things and everything Descendants of Zombies for you guys this morning. And I haven't even finished my first cup of tea. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. We will talk more about Descendants of Zombies throughout the day. Don't forget to hit my subscribe and my like button, because these videos are a great experience for everybody and such an honor for me to host. Keep Descendants of Zombies in your hearts, guys, and stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to be in this lifetime.